Tell me about the work that you do.
Well, along with doing portraiture and like editorial work, I also do, I guess, what we term documentaries. And recently, I did a documentary named CeaseFire, which chronicles the violence in South Chicago. It's been some really impactful and I think powerful work. It kind of tells a different side of the story. Quite often in the news and just in general, we hear about violence and we hear it in terms of just kind of a dark pit. And my story is more about showing that there is some sort of light. There are people doing positive things to try to change their community despite the lack of support from government or public help in some sort. And it just tries to show, make a portrait out of a situation and tell a impactful and hopefully not too biased story.
Was there a particularly memorable trip that you made with CeaseFire?
Was there a particularly memorable trip? I think the most memorable thing, and maybe even in a bad way, was probably attending Darren Albert's funeral. I think that was a really hard thing to do. And I kind of intended not to take photographs, just to kind of show my support, especially since I came and I photographed their family so often. I felt it was only right to show that amount of respect. And just to hear people talk about somebody that I had never met in a way that, this kid is so young and he's ripped away from his family, and to hear his, little sister talk and his mom talk and the community talk about him was very memorable.
What kind of impact do you hope people will get out of viewing your work?
I hope if anything, I hope that they start to try to find ways that, they can change the subject of this documentary, violence in the community, whether, I don't know, if they're an accountant, I don't know, maybe going to schools and trying to mentor kids in mathematics to try to make them stay in school and try to progress further. And then also just in general to take a more open look at problems and issues that are occurring around them and finding ways that they can show them or not show them, but make a difference in them.
Finally, what advice can you give to other photographers who also want to create positive social change?
Never give up on your dreams. If you're passionate about something and if you feel that it's important and that somebody needs to hear it, you have to kind of take it upon yourself as being that one singular voice and go out and tell that story, because if you don't do it, nobody else will. So be a rock star, I guess.